Welcome, guys. The drums in the Bing Lounge. I have to say, listening to that song, it made me think we're so much awash in all these banjos and, old-timey stuff that this is like, wow, this is really different. Not that there's anything wrong with banjos, but, you've got the synth thing going. I wanted to just get to know you a little bit. The drums from Brooklyn by way of Florida, and I can see why Britain is just gaga over you guys. Somewhere I read that you kind of came and rescued a drowning British music scene, and that's like a lot of weight on your shoulders.
Too much weight.
Yeah, but but the UK really kind of got a hold of you guys first in a way. Tell me a little bit about that.
I don't know. It's kind of a mystery to us. Sort of. I mean, I guess you can put two and two together. A lot of our influences, are from there. Sort of the underground UK scene. The C86 stuff and the Anorak stuff and all that we really loved. I don't know, I think maybe they're just more familiar or accepting of sort of like these straightforward pop songs that we sort of fetishize over as a band. So there's sort of an instant connection there, I think. How it went so crazy, I don't really understand. But
yeah, it's kind of like a viral thing. I mean, the NME Award, the New Musical Express Mag's award for you guys early last year. Yeah. All kinds of accolades. It's like now it's so much to live up to, onto your second album. From the sound of it, I mean, I don't want to tell you who I think you sound like, but I can hear the influences. Tell me who your heroes were when you guys were, what were your influences?
Jacob, you want to come over here and talk with me? It's Jacob, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Our influences, we have had two really specific influences that we were sort of trying to channel. We were really obsessed with this girl group that I'm sure everyone's familiar with called the Shangri-Las from the 60s. Specifically the lead singer, Mary Weiss. We just kind of really adore her. And we're pretty much only listening to the Shangri-Las and this other band out of the UK called The Wake that we kind of consider sort of the poor man's New Order in a really loving and affectionate way. They were sort of this band that had, I don't know, these beautiful pop songs that always felt like they were about to fall apart, and there's something very beginner about them throughout their whole career, and we really love that sort of thing. They were both doing one thing in common. They were putting out amazing pop songs, but the genres of the two different groups are completely different. And we didn't want to let go of either of them, so we sort of just fused them together. Or tried to, and came up with whatever we came up with. Yeah.
With the drum sound. Yeah. Is this colleague of yours going to pipe up?
Certainly. I'll lower the mic.
You had to lower the mic for him. I just was teasing you. I like the nostalgic sound. I mean, it's sort of a retro sound, but yet unidentifiable, and the synth stuff is really cool. I got to ask about the name, the drums. How did that happen?
The drums, actually, we had the name before we even recorded any music or did anything. Johnny and I have been best friends since we were really young, about 11 years old, because of music. We liked the same bands that not really anyone from the middle of America was listening to at the time. Grunge was very big. But we came up with the name The Drums, I think 2 years before we did anything, and we just thought that it was a really cool name, and we kind of, would find like pictures of garage bands from the 60s, like in old junk stores, and kind of be like, oh, that's what the drum, so we kind of had all these ideas floating around in our head, and then just kind of like, I think put the pieces together probably very backwards than most bands normally do.
Kind of like, okay, here's our name and we're going to have a band.
Yeah. Kind of, we thought of the name and then kind of probably thought about the image or something, or things like that. We're very visually driven, so it just kind of made sense for us to do things that way.
And talk a little bit about the new album Portamento. It means something. There's a definition to Portamento.
Yes, there is.
Portamento.
You can sing it if you want.
Yeah. It's. I think it's an old Italian word or something, but it means moving from one note to another and kind of the space and time between those two notes, and which I think kind of fittingly makes sense for the name of our record, because I think it is that sort of gradual transition between what we were doing and, we want to be very consistent. So if we do ever progress, we want it to be very gradual. But mostly it's a function on old synthesizers, and that's why we know about it, and we just think it sounds nice, and that's probably the main reason.
There's a little bit of a mystery to it. I didn't, so I like the sound of that. Well, it's been quite a year. You had quite a year last year, and now it's like this is the hard work, maybe, going out on tour right now?
I think so, definitely. I think everything up until Portamento had a surrealness to it, and our lives felt very dreamlike. I think not dreamlike as in the sense of fame and money, that sort of thing. Dreamlike as in like it felt like we were in a movie, or like a scene from a movie or something. Nothing really felt real, and after doing it for so long, and the initial hype behind the band, thank God, sort of started, it was relaxed a little bit more, and it feels like the dust has sort of settled, and we can just be that working class band that we always wanted to be, So, and we can. I just feel like we're taken a little bit more seriously now, which is nice. People aren't asking about our haircuts anymore and things like that.
We're over that, yeah.
So,
and where do you get it? No.
Jacob cuts my hair.
You guys are best friends. It's really great to have a chance to get to know you a little bit more, and your music as well. So I invite you to play some more for us, the drums in the Bing Lounge.